Hello, family. I promised one of my viewers that I would do an update video on my Philodendron Melanochrysum. So I thought, I should do that today, as I had promised. So I hope I find everyone well. So let's get to it, guys. Let's get to it. So this is the current view, and I'm gonna open the cabinet actually so you get a really good shot, because the glass is kind of dirty. I need to wipe it down, but not tonight. So here is my Philodendron Melanochrysum, and she's a beauty. I mean, look at that. That's the newest leaf. It's just absolutely gorgeous, and it's getting bigger. If you want to see, let me give you a comparison size. So it's getting there. It's getting there, guys, because it started, after I snipped it, it was that. And slowly but surely, every leaf, look at that. Ooh, I have to be careful. Every leaf is bigger than the last. So this one is not fully matured, but yeah, it's about half the size, I suppose, of my hand. So in the last video I did regarding this plant, I was experimenting, that's the word, experimenting with having it just on a simple piece of, I think it was oak lumber, just plain oak lumber that I bought. And the plant was not loving it, because this plant, I discovered, really loves moisture. Okay, for this plant to thrive, guys, if you try to grow this, humidity and moisture is the only way. I mean, if this plant does not receive, enough humidity, every new leaf that it pops out, and it's already popping one out, I'll try and show it to you. So right here, you see that? Every new leaf that tries to emerge will be damaged. It will have tears, it will have holes, it will look terrible. It may not even come out of the sheath properly, etc., etc. I could show you a little example. Look at that. That is humidity damage when I didn't have the humidity consistently high. Now, I've got the cabinet open, but here I have my hygrometer, thermometer, combo. And right now it's saying 60, but when this cabinet is closed, this time of year, winter, Canada, it is, Ontario, Canada to be precise. It is at least 70% humidity in here. Okay, so this plant requires at least, in my opinion, from the years I've had it, I've had this plant, I believe, let me check my label down here, one sec. Sorry for the bad camera work. But here's the label, okay? Let's see, what does it say? Bought February. Okay, so a year? Yep, 1 year. Guys, this plant, if it's happy, grows like a weed. It really does, as mine is doing right now. So, remember, I had snipped this plant about half, into half. Okay, I'd show you the babies, but unfortunately the lights are off in the, let's go past my, they're in there. There's two of them in there. It's kind of dark, but yeah, they're in there. Okay, so going back to the cabinet, IKEA greenhouse, call it whatever you like. So yeah, this plant was cut in half about, I think, late summer or something like that. And I believe, let's see if I can find the cut. Yep, right here. It was cut right there, guys. So, look what it's done. It's grown that far. And how did I manage to figure this out? How to get this plant to thrive and be this lush and literally constantly putting out a new leaf and giving me perfect leaves. At some point, I never thought I'd get here. But finally, I figured out, okay, yeah, let's start at the bottom. You got to give this plant a soil mix that is well draining. Okay, that's number one. Has to be well draining. So if I were to water this plant right now, it would take literally just seconds, okay, for the water to run through the soil. So that's the first thing. It doesn't sit on the soil long. It literally just runs through in less than, I would say, guesstimate 10 or so seconds for the water to run through, thereabouts. Okay, so that's how fast this drains. However, it has to drain fast, but it also requires, the plant also requires the soil to be able to hold moisture at the same time. So you've got to make sure air can go through the soil while also the soil holds onto moisture. Now, how do you achieve that? You can see it right here. I've got orchid bark. I've got lots of perlite, the white stuff. I've got the cheapest potting mix humanly possible. Basic cheap potting mix from Walmart. I think it's like $1 a bag. Okay? And I have some, just for me, because I think the plants love it. I just have some Miracle-Gro slow release fertilizer. You can see the little blue pellets. That's what those are. You can see them sort of, all over the pot. And the orchid mix also has charcoal bits, but if it didn't, I would add charcoal into this as well. And that is what this plant is growing in. It's about half orchid bark, I would say. About, I would say, quarter perlite, thereabouts. Just rough estimate. And about, I would say, a third-ish perlite soil, right? So perlite soil is almost the same amount, thereabouts, and orchid bark. That's what's in there. And this holds moisture beautifully. Now, I also have it in a clay pot only because this circulating fan is very powerful. As you can see, the leaves constantly are blown. The fan runs all the time. It never goes off, okay? So air circulation in this cabinet is very good. That's another thing you've got to make sure you have with these types of plants. They need air circulation. Think about where they grow naturally, okay? So, once you get the soil right, you have got to get the plant a perfect way for it to get extra moisture into itself through its aerial roots. So what are aerial roots? Well, let's see if I can spot some. Here we go. Perfect example right here. Okay, look right here, guys. Aerial roots. I hope you can see them. The camera is trying to focus on the leaves and not the roots. There we go. So you see those little white things sticking out from the plant? Those are aerial roots. And if you look closely, if I could just move this leaf a little, this is how the plant climbs. As you can see, I did not tie this part of the plant to the moss pole. It's attached itself to the moss pole all by itself. All I did was I gave it a start when I put it onto this moss pole a couple of months ago, I think it was. I repotted it and gave it a better moss pole than I had. After I took it off the plank, that didn't work. So you can see the roots are constantly heading into the moss pole. Now, why does it do that? Because I constantly pour water, okay, from the top, right in here, okay, into the moss pole. And I just keep pouring. It actually takes quite a bit of water, okay, a lot of water. Moss holds a lot of water without dripping. So I literally just keep pouring water every, I would guesstimate maybe every 3-4 days-ish into this moss pole so that it stays constantly moist, okay? Sometimes it's really wet, of course. The plant doesn't mind. Why? Because air circulation, guys. We're right back to air circulation. And bright light. These plants actually love bright light, okay? Now, I won't go put it in hot sun if you weren't using grow lights, but I would put in a very bright sunny spot in your house. If you can maintain very high, as I said, at least, it's keep dropping, but that's okay. It'll go right back up once I close the door. At least 70% humidity is what I have discovered the Melanochrysum really loves. It is not the easiest plant to grow, okay? A lot of people get frustrated with this plant because When it's not happy, it's really ugly. I mean, it will give you the ugliest leaves humanly possible. You know, it's just to see. It's just ugly when they're not happy because all the leaves, they tear, they get holes, they look terrible, okay? They dry up, all sorts of stuff. You don't get this velvet finish. Oh, the light just went off, guys. Oh, dear. Hold on. I've got to head over here and do a switcheroo. Oh, hold on. Oh, there we go. Let's go back. It's on a timer, guys. All my lights are on timers, and it is now time for them to go off, but I flipped the switch. So let's finish this discussion so my babies can go to sleep, and me too. So yeah, this is the update, guys. If you want to grow, I hope you understand what I'm saying. What I've discovered is growing aroids. Maybe one day I'll update you guys on this beauty as well, okay? But not today, okay? Not today. See that pretty thing right there? Look at that. Has some yellowing because I forgot to water it at one point. Oops. Anyway, in terms of the Melanochrysum, which is an aroid, you have to get the balance of humidity, high humidity that's constant. You cannot be on and off, okay? It has to be a constant level of humidity, especially if you live in northern climates like I do, all right? It has to have bright light to give you bigger and bigger leaves. And it has to have a soil mix that is well aerated, holds moisture, but drains quickly. And it also needs a pole filled with moss. In my opinion, I'm sure you can use cocoa fiber, but I think moss is perfect. Okay, so you keep the moss moist. Right now, my moss is drying out. It's not completely dry, or else it'd be really white and crispy. Kind of looking, you know, that light golden crispy color. It is moist, but it needs water. Okay, so tomorrow I'm probably most likely going to be pouring in at least, you know, 2-3 cups of water into this moss pole. Yeah, that's how much water this moss pole takes. And while I do that, I don't actually water the actual pot itself because that dries up much slower than the moss pole, okay, because it's more exposed. So yeah, I hope that answers any questions. You know, the plank idea, I'm sure it works beautifully for some people in certain conditions, but I found that my Melanochrysum did not want to like grip onto the plank no matter what I did. I even sprayed the plank with water on a regular basis. It still wouldn't do it. And then the plank, because it's very high humidity in the cabinet, it started to mold over. So that freaked me out. I'm like, ooh, it has a little black mold. No, I threw it away, guys. And I went to the tried and true moss pole. And this is how I have this gorgeous beauty. I mean, this plant makes me giddy. Look at it. It makes me giddy. So yeah, guys, that's it for now. That's the update on my Melanochrysum, Philodendron Melanochrysum. In terms of height, well, let's zoom out. You can see how tall that is, guys. There's a cabinet. Here's a plant. It's pretty big. As you can see, the shelves are now gone because this plant is way too big. And so is that one. But let's talk about that one another time, guys. So, until next time, guys, you know what I always say. God bless you. God loves you. I love you. So love each other, man. It's not that hard, you know. Love each other. All right. Take care of yourself. Till next time. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys. And for those who've been with me from the start, thank you so much. And continue watching. I know I made a video, just to say one more thing. I made a video recently saying that things will change. And it will. It will. It's in the works, guys. And I'm very excited. This channel is about soon to take a very purposeful direction, and it does involve beautiful plants, guys. I mean, I have lots of plants. I love plants, as you could probably tell. I love plants, all kinds of plants. I mean, look at this. Yeah, so stay tuned, guys. Subscribe and please share my video, and God bless you. Take care. Bye bye.